Hello. It looks like we're up again. Today, or tonight, depending on what the situation is, we have another story for you, written and read by the author, Wanetta Renay, the title of which is Hypno Gothic. Hypno Gothic by Wanetta Renay. What you seek is seeking you. Mahalana Ja'a Din Rami. Amy Brunel watches her estranged husband, Joseph Ubel, shoulder his way through the gyrating dikes on the Hershey Bar's crowded dance floor. Amid the pulsating pop music and strobe lights and the ever-present smell of beer and pot, she spies her ex's unholstered police issue Glock peeking out of his loud sports jacket. As Joseph pushes an outraged, muscular, butch Latina out of his way, Amy feels a hand with a tattoo of a rose and a scorpion on her shoulder. The woman has mismatched eyes, one brown, one green. Amy notices. Want to go upstairs with me? Rose Tattoo says. Her heart pounding in her chest, Amy goes with her. 2 seconds later, Joseph bellies up to the bar, scanning the club intensely for his wayward former spouse. Under his breath, he says, "You can run, but you can't hide, bitch." My name is Catherine Happy, the swarthy, voluptuous woman with the mismatched eyes tells her, in an indefinable accent. The foreign beauty's lavishly appointed loft apartment is furnished in early arabesque, replete with colorful hanging Moorish tapestries and highly polished ornate brass censers. Suffusing the mega-ozonic air with myrrh, sandalwood, and a third undefinable perfume that might be opium. The narcotic vapor's intoxication wraps around Amy's senses, melting away her fears utterly. Under the fume's influence, she is transported to a timeless land where the words past and present have no tangible meaning. She was born the middle child in a large, devout Irish Catholic family, where she kept her love of women to herself. Not that anyone in the family would have noticed her lesbianism anyway. Her mother, June, often confused her with her sister, Beth. There was only one picture of Amy in the family's photo album, showing her at 13 as a gawky blonde with boyishly short hair and mosquito bite tits, and even that was slightly out of focus. The night unfolds. Amy becomes fully emotionally alive as the sole reflection in Catherine's eyes. For the first time, she feels truly heard when they finally make love, because her ex-husband was erratically erotic when he wasn't being psychotic, like most men she had known in the biblical sense. For that reason, she had always considered sex to be more fiction than friction. But after several atomic bomb-like orgasms with Catherine, she radically changed her mind. Jogging the next morning in the gray light of dawn, she inhales, smelling the stench of carbon monoxide from the nearby freeway, exhales, feeling the chill in her lungs. On either side of her, a murder of crows, breakfasts on the soggy contents of discarded crisp packets strewn along the dewy park dichondra, stepping gingerly over discarded hypodermic needles and crack vials as they do so. Homeless people snore in dilapidated sleeping bags, nestled in the poorly manicured bushes. Amy finds herself out of breath. She pauses, rasping out plumes of fog, coughing up thick, bright red flecks of blood. Black spots dance in front of her eyes as she checks her messages. She finds two, both from Catherine. Maybe we shouldn't meet anymore. And I must see you. Amy is running. Breath in, breath out. Dodging Joseph and his cop friends. Running. Breath in, breath out. Towards hope and away from fear. Running. Breath in, breath out. Breath. Breath. Amy tries to inhale, but the wind has been knocked out of her by a well-placed kick to the solar plexus by her ex-husband. She sits in a rickle of beer shards from the shattered back bar in the ruins of her beautician shop, which reeks of spilled permanent wave solution and coconut mango scented shampoo. Both of her pink barber chairs are overturned with their leather seats slashed, hemorrhaging white foam stuffing, as are all of the matching chairs in the waiting area. Joseph Ubel looms over her, brandishing a rusty 2-foot-long piece of rebar in one massive hand. His Brooks Brothers suit somewhat disheveled by his recent act of vandalism. He swings his makeshift club again, laying waste to the coral-hued porcelain sink, which sends up a geyser of icy water from the broken faucet. Then he puts one of his highly polished capazios down hard on Amy's left ankle, forcing the last shards into her smooth, creamy flesh. Looks like somebody fucked up your shop. Better call the cops. Amy unravels the cloth and the tatters of her smock. Unraveling. Her life unraveling. Then, knitting together. 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 Morphing from one sexual position to another, like a pair of lascivious seals. Two lives morphing into one. Amy, Catherine, Catherine, Amy. The binary becoming a singularity. And then it is time for them to part. Amy fidgets with a frayed hem of her diaphanous purple nightgown. Unraveling. Unraveling. When she had first met Joseph at St. Paul's Church, he seemed such a kind man. While they dated her, he put her up on a pedestal. After they married, he beat her over the head with it. Unraveling. She keeps toying with the thread. Unraveling. The dream is unraveling. She wakens to the ringing of her cell, soaked in sweat. Fatigue settles over her like a lead wool blanket as she answers it. I just wanted to hear your voice. Catherine is saying in a voice choked with emotion. The sound of that voice. A woman's voice. A voice on the radio, an NPR voice. Amy awakens to the sound of a woman's voice on the radio. The first thing she is aware of, other than the radio, is that she has been violently raped. Hubby's doing that. She lies on a pile of her recently shorn hair. Hubby's doing that. Blood gushes from her vagina. Her breasts display a ring around the rosy bite mark pattern. She can feel the sticky saliva semen on her skin. Hell, she can smell it. The last thing she remembers is drinking an icy cold slug of bottled water in this very kitchen. She tries to stand on chicken wing tendons, numb clown shoes feet, to find that her kitchen is a tilt-a-whirl. She sways on her feet, careening around like a drunk in a bounce house. And then she is falling. 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 The cadaverous entity that was Amy Rowell falls into Catherine's embrace. At the threshold of the latter's loft, Catherine rocks her lover back and forth, smelling the charnel house stench radiating from Amy's feather-light, fevered Seductive anatomy. Amy looks up at her soulmate as though seeing her for the first time. You have such beautiful horns, and your skin is a lovely shade of red. Amy babbles. Catherine hears her lover's death rattle, feels her grow heavier in her arms, and begins to weep so hard to believe she's dead. A week passes. Dead. Another. Dead. Shovels full of earth in an open grave. All the wonders of an expired life and a box to keep it in. Keep it in. In. Keep it in your pants. At his late wife's funeral, Joseph Ubell meets an alluring young woman with a rose and scorpion tattoo on her right hand. In an hour's time, they find themselves lying together on soiled sheets in a cheap flea bag hotel that reeks of roach spray and cigarettes, where Joseph mistakes the rage in his bedmate's mismatched eyes for lust. And that's the end of Hypno-Gothic, read by the author. Wanetta, Renay. Thank you very much. And sleep tight, deadlings. See you next time.